organized labor and the federal government. The Minister of Finance, Wale Edun, Minister of Budget and National Planning, Atiku Bagudu, Minister of State for Labor and Employment, Nkeruka Onyejocha, and the Chief Executive Officer of the Nigeria National Petroleum Company Limited, Mele Kyari, were at the meeting. The meeting may not be unconnected to the strike embarked upon by Labour over the non-conclusion of negotiations on the new Minister President on the ongoing negotiation and get his commitment on a new offer after the Labour had rejected the government's 60,000 naira offer.
In the meantime, aviation unions have opened barricaded airport terminals following the suspension of an indefinite strike by the Nigerian Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress. The General Secretary, Air Traffic Services Senior Staff Association of Nigeria, Mr. Francis Akijole, said the strike was relaxed for 5 days to enable the union's continued talks with the federal government on a new minimum wage. Mr. Akinjole said all blocked access points at the domestic airport terminals 1 and 2 and others have been reopened. Similarly, the President General of the Association of Nigerian Aviation Professionals, Mr. Lale Adedayo, said organized labor had accepted the federal government's offer for continued negotiations at International Airport, Ikeja.
The Presidential Fiscal Policy and Tax Reform Committee has unveiled plans to transit from monthly to daily disbursement of allocations across the 3 tiers of government. This is in a bid to revamp the Federation Accounts Allocation Committee disbursement mechanism. The committee's chairman, Taiwo Yedele, disclosed this while speaking at a public consultation workshop in Abuja. He emphasized the need to modernize the current system, which he likened to antiquated practices dating back to 1814. He stated that the system can be configured to credit the accounts of the local, state, and federal governments daily.
The Central Bank of Nigeria has denied plans to revoke the licenses of Unity Bank, Polaris Bank, and Keystone Bank. The Apex Bank said reports to this effect were fake and not from the CBN. Online reports had claimed that the CBN would terminate the licenses of the 3 banks following the revocation of Heritage Bank's license. However, the CBN has debunked this claim in a post on its social media handles, stating that it had no plans to do so. Recall that the CBN had revoked Heritage Bank's license, citing the bank's inability to improve its financial performance. The Nigeria Deposit Insurance Corporation has been appointed as the liquidator of the bank in line with Section 12, Subsection 3 of the Banks and Other Financial Institutions Act 2020.
Inspector General of Police Kayode Egbetokun has called on government to allocate sufficient budgetary resources to the police force to address equipment needs, improve infrastructure, and enhance training programs. IGP Egbetokun made the call while delivering the first Distinguished Personality Lecture of the TEDFund Center of Excellence in Multidisciplinary Studies, University of Ibadan. Dupe Feintola was at the Trenchard Hall of the University of Ibadan, venue of the lecture.
Despite the strike action embarked upon by the organized labor in the country, which grounded movement of flights into the Ibadan airport, the MPF aircraft that conveyed the IGP eventually touched down at the Alaka Airport, Ibadan at 2:30 p.m. The IGP and his team were received by the Vice Chancellor of the University of Ibadan, Professor Olukayode Adebowale, and other management staff from the institution. In his lecture titled The Nigerian Police Force and the Management of Internal Security, the IGP stressed the need for community policing initiatives to be expanded and institutionalized across the states in Nigeria. This, according to him, includes fostering collaboration between the police and local communities, empowering community members to participate in crime prevention efforts, and promoting trust and communication between law enforcement agencies and the public.
These petty crimes have become a challenge for us in Nigeria. Why? Because the big criminals today also started small. So if you don't pay attention to these small crimes, we are bringing
said the acute shortage of manpower, inadequate equipment, public distrust, corruption, and political interference are some of the factors that hamper operationalization of community policing, as well as public engagement, internal reforms, and policy initiatives, among others.
We are going to sustain these efforts. We are going to establish the SIS in all states of the Federation, and the criminals will no longer have a hiding space. We have also developed our intelligence unit. We recently updated our intelligence bureau to intelligence department. Our intelligence unit has now attained the status of a department in the police, headed by the Deputy Inspector General of Police.
He said that despite the numerous challenges faced by the Nigerian police force in managing internal security during crisis, there have been notable achievements that demonstrate their potential and resilience. He said that the president has approved the annual employment of police officers between 10 and 30,000 to combat insecurity. While speaking on the reasons for the gathering, Professor Lawale Albert said the IGP was invited to speak on the management of internal security, considering the role of the Nigerian police as the closest stakeholder. The event had in attendance former and serving vice chancellors of Nigerian universities, former deputy governor in Oyo State, Otunba Moses Adeyemo, the special advisor to the governor on security, Fatai Owosheni, Dr. Benjamin Aluko, among other personalities. Dupe Feintola, BCOS News.
The Nigerian police force has distanced itself from reports making the rounds and alleging a demand of 30,000 naira by senior officers before granting promotion interviews to junior officers. This was contained in a statement issued today by Force Public Relations Officer ACP Olumuyiwa Dejobi on behalf of the Inspector General of Police IGP Kayode Egbetokun. The statement said the police was gravely concerned by reports of the alleged extortion and unethical conduct surrounding the ongoing promotion interviews for inspectors aspiring to the rank of Assistant Superintendent of Police. The statement added that the Inspector General of Police IGP Egbetokun strongly condemns any form of corruption in the promotion process, urging all officers to report any instances of misconduct promptly.
This broadcast of Newscope comes to you from the Broadcasting Corporation of Oyo State, Ibadan. No fewer than 50 miners are reportedly feared trapped at a mining site in Niger State. The incident occurred after a torrential rain on Sunday in Galkogo community of Shiroro local government area of the state. It was reliably gathered that the site belongs to African Minerals and Logistics Limited. One person has already been confirmed dead. 6 others are also confirmed to have sustained various degrees of injuries. Meanwhile, an excavator has already been sent to the area for rescue operations.
Airstrikes by the Nigerian Air Force has destroyed terrorist enclaves in Giwa local government of Kaduna State. This was contained in a statement by the Nigerian Air Force Director of Public Relations and Information, Edward Gapquet. He said the strikes were carried out between May 30th and May 31st by the air component of Operation Whirlstroke. He added that the strikes were prompted by painstaking intelligence, surveillance and reconnaissance operations conducted in the targeted vicinity.
Police in Rivers State have arrested some members of a criminal gang suspected to be murdering car hire drivers and stealing their vehicles. The command spokesperson, SB Grace Iringe Koko, in a statement in Port Harcourt, linked the group to multiple cases of drivers that went missing. She revealed that the arrest of one gang member, Anthony Chima, exposed the sinister activities of the gang. According to her, the discovery of the criminal enterprise targeting Uber drivers in the state followed the disappearance of one Ogenevari Barry Akpobome, an Uber driver. The police spokesperson said that Chima confessed that he randomly obtains the Uber driver's phone numbers and pretends to be a passenger in need.
Energy levels, supporting bodily functions and promoting overall well-being. In this report, Faith Adekunle takes a look at the importance of the first meal of the day.
Breakfast is considered to be the most important meal of the day because it supplies the body with the needed nutrients for the day's activities. It restores the glycogen which are used during sleep and ensures that the body has sufficient energy for physical activities. It also helps in stabilizing blood sugar levels, which is crucial for preventing type 2 diabetes, and it supports digestive health by promoting regular bowel movements. However, despite its benefits, many people skip breakfast due to lack of time or appetite in the morning. In a chat with BCOS News, a medical practitioner, Dr. Oluwatumise Adeagbo, stated that eating junks as breakfast is bad for the health.
When you talk about breakfast, it shows that it must consist a quantum of food that will give you the maximum energy for you to go for that day. At the same time, it must also have some quantum of nutrients that also will sustain your daily activities for that day. You know, it is common in this part of the world that people skip breakfast, and it is not ideal because by the time you sleep overnight before you wake up, your hormones level might have changed, and it is not good to skip breakfast in that form, so that the body will need to replenish. It's going to bring back the nutrient, what you have lost during sleeping. It's advisable to take something as early as 8, 9. Anything above that time, is moving outside the bracket of the breakfast medically.
In the same vein, a dietitian at the University College Hospital, UCH, Dr. Olayinka Abdusalam, emphasized on the need to take light food as breakfast and avoid the heavy one.
Breakfast is something that must bring you back to life. And part of the advantage breakfast has is that it's like an appetizer for other meals of the day. If you refuse to take your breakfast, it means that you are telling your body to ignore the other meals for the day. So we all understand what appetizer in course meal means. So if you don't take your breakfast, it means you are telling your body food for the day is not actually important. So part of the risk, if you don't take breakfast, you don't get the necessary fluid your body requires to work. Two, you are draining off the nutrient, the glucose. The body function as what the energy the body needs to work with.
Both experts harped on the need to take breakfast very important, as it is a source of energy for the day. Faith Adekunle, BCOS News.
7 more bodies were discovered as exhumations continued in a Kenyan forest where hundreds of victims of a doomsday cult were found buried last year. The total number of people unearthed from the mass graves now stands at 436. The government paused the exhumations last year to allow for DNA matching of the bodies, and so far, only 34 of the victims have been identified. The first bodies were discovered in April 2023 in the Shakahola forest near the Kenyan coast, leading to the arrest of Pastor Paul Mackenzie, who is alleged to have led his followers to starve themselves to death in order to meet Jesus. Mackenzie has pleaded not guilty to 191 counts of murder, manslaughter, and terrorism, and has also been charged with child torture and cruelty.
Still on the foreign scene, rescuers are battling to evacuate people from flooded areas in southern Germany that have claimed 4 lives, as Chancellor Olaf Scholz called it a warning that climate change was getting worse. Thousands of people in the regions of Bavaria and Baden-Württemberg had to leave their homes since torrential rain on Friday caused deadly flooding. More evacuations were called overnight as the huge volumes of water caused flood defenses to fail. About 800 people were asked to leave their homes in the area of Ebenhausen, Werk, after a dam burst. Residents around Manchin-Pinkel, in the area worst affected by the floods, were told to shelter on the upper floors of their homes. The Bavarian state premier, Markus Söder, who accompanied Scholz on his visit, said there was no full insurance against climate change. 20,000 people in Bavaria alone had been deployed to tackle the consequences of the flood.
To end this edition of Newscope, here again are the main points. Organized labor has suspended the nationwide strike for 5 days to give room for an uninterrupted meeting with the tripartite committee on the new national minimum wage. The strike, which commenced on Monday, was called to protest the failure of the federal government to approve new minimum wage by May 31, as well as its failure to reverse the hike in electricity tariff.
Aviation unions have opened barricaded airport terminals following the suspension of an indefinite strike by the Nigerian Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress. The General Secretary, Air Traffic Services Senior Staff Association of Nigeria, Mr. Francis Akinjole, said that the strike was relaxed for 5 days to enable the unions continue talks with the federal government on a new minimum wage.
No fewer than 50 miners are reportedly feared trapped at a mining site in Niger State. The incident occurred after a torrential rainfall on Sunday in Galkogo community of Shiroro local government area of the state.
On the foreign scene, 7 more bodies were discovered as exhumations continued in a Kenyan forest where hundreds of victims of a doomsday cult were found buried last year. The total number of people unearthed from the mass graves now stands at 436.
And that's all from Newscope Desk for now. It was packaged by Tola Teriba and delivered by Olukemi Ajayi and
Idowu Shekoni. Good evening.
Thank you for listening, and don't forget to tune in for the Yoruba version at 8 p.m. Good evening.
wọ̀kú lọ́rọ̀rùn pẹ̀sẹ̀ láti kéde nílé akéde tọ̀yọ́ ni ó nílò kó ṣe mọ́ dára rẹ̀ láàmú sọ pé òun wọkọ̀ bọ̀ wá sílé akéde lóríta Basọ̀rún ìlú Ìbàdàn mọ́ pàápàá jùlọ láti ṣe ìkéde yẹn polówó ọjà yẹn tàbí fi ń tọ́tọ́ tó sì yẹ tó àwọn aráàlú létí bóyá nípa àpàdé nípa àsọjí àbí nǹkan kan àbómi ìtẹ́bálẹ̀ fẹ́ ṣe ẹ torí agbègbè àgbáyé kẹ́ẹ̀nà tẹ́ fẹ́ ṣe hàn wá 09158703300 lórí agbègbè kí ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀ WhatsApp nọ́mbà yìí kan náà mọ̀ ní ọ̀rọ̀rùn pẹ̀sẹ̀ stress free courtesy BCOS. You don't have to stress yourself coming down to Ile Akede Orita Basọ̀rún Ìbàdàn again to make that announcement or place that advert. Book online, personal paid announcements, obituaries or in memoriam, annual conventions, workshops, crusades, social diaries, inter-house sport competitions, musical shows or concerts, and other promotions. Very simple. Go online to book for transmission on BCOS radio channels or BCOS TV, or simply call 091 5870 3300 or WhatsApp on the same number 091 5870 3300. BCOS, a media giant in a class of its own.
Muna, my babe, I have to say you don't come back with full action.
Chichi, I thank you again. Say you did always check on me. See, I go see you later.
Bye. Chichi, why you been dey hug Muna like that? You no hear say Muna dey treat tuberculosis? You no hear say she dey take her medicine as dem say make she dey take am for more than 4 weeks now? Anybody wey don dey collect TB treatment for more than 3 weeks no fit infect another person again. Talk less of person wey don finish treatment. You mean am? Yes now, abeg enter inside my shop with your full chest jare.
Check that cough for tuberculosis.
With love and support we fit end tuberculosis. Abeg advise your family and people wey near you make dem go for free test and treatment. For more tori, call 3340 or dial *3340# for free. Now, Federal Ministry of Health with support from the American people them bring una this information.
Hey? Is this a mistake?
What's that? What happened?
See, I just bought 1,000 Naira Glow data and instead of the usual, I got 3.9 gigabytes.
Guy, I swear, that's how I saw it too. I bought 2,000 Naira data yesterday and I got a whopping 9.2 gigabytes.
Wow! Glow data is just always bigger.
Yep, and always better. I swear down. Babe, why are you removing your SIM?
I'm leaving this network and getting a Glow SIM immediately. And I'm not giving you my new number. You're on probation. Why didn't you tell me about these new Glow data plans?
Glow new data plans. Always bigger, always better. Babe, sorry now. Yes, get a Glow SIM card today and enjoy bigger, better data on the Glow network. Just dial *777# and choose your plan. And if you link your NIN to your Glow line, up to free 20,000 Naira bonus awaits you.
Glow Unlimited.
The future belongs to the dreamers, the doers, to those who are not afraid to explore endless opportunities. No matter what your dreams are, you can achieve it. And Top Tea will be with you every step of the way. Start your day with a flavorful cup of Top Tea. You are made for more. Find your inspiration. Top Tea, big round bags of flavor.
Olúyọ̀lé